You're watching Camnet News. Thank you so much for choosing us. We look at the top stories on our desk. Continued fuel shortage angers Livingstone residents. Lusaka province PF members confident of President Edgar Lungu's candidature. And IMF JOTS Zambia next month. In international news, South Africa's COVID-19 related deaths surpass 40,000. And in sports news, CHIPOLOPOLO squared off with Guinea, though Zambia is one goal down. Join me shortly for the details.
2021 is finally here. Zambia is at the crossroads heading towards general elections this August. In the world where fake news, biased reporting on national issues has become the order of the day, in a world where social media in most cases spills lies and exaggerated information, insightful coverage, Zambia needs one media. Living in a country where people are slowly promoting tribalism, hatred, bitterness and revenge, political temperature is heating up and people's hearts are perplexed. Zambia needs one media. Zambia being a Christian nation living under the lordship of Jesus Christ, the nation cannot afford a compromised gospel. Zambia needs a prophetic media house. For hope, peace and unity, Zambia needs Camnet television. For non-biased, factual reporting, balanced opinion, accurate news coverage, Zambia needs Camnet television. For national projects and development of our beloved country Zambia, watch Camnet TV on channel 274 DSTV, channel 98 on Go TV and channel 106 on Topstar. Remember, Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Hello, have you heard about LUSAKA? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, LUSAKA is here. Advertise on LUSAKA between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact
+260 953 995099. +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467.
LUSAKA, allowing your business to grow.
This is Camnet News. We look at in detail. United Party for National Development Eastern Province Chairperson Mike Tembo has bemoaned what he terms as the continued harassment of party officials by the Zambia Police Service for merely convening meetings on matters relating to the COVID-19. He notes that recently a civic leader under his party was arrested for meeting the people to which he is mandated to. Mr. Tembo says the arrest of opposition members is aimed at intimidating the people, adding that this will not work because people have already made a decision. He has meanwhile urged party officials in the province to refrain from confrontations with the police.
As the party in Eastern Province, we are very much disturbed with the ongoings here. This is in reference to the continued harassment of our people, our officials. Just last week, our councillor, Councillor Nefat Banda of Lusinde Ward, was arrested alongside other officials, other two officials. They were arrested for merely convening a meeting at which they were they wanted to talk to the people on matters relating to the COVID pandemic. As a civic leader, the man is duty bound to explain these things to his constituents there. But unfortunately, the police went there, bent the fuel just to go and pick a man who was doing the needful, from a distance of about 40 kilometers from the bomb. So as a party, we are not happy with that. However, in the same breath, we would like to thank the police for having looked at the matter critically and found that the man had not done anything wrong. We know where these instructions are coming from to arrest our officials. It's part of a ploy to intimidate our people. But this won't do, as our people are resolved to change the status quo of this nation. They want to change the government.
Patriotic Front Kawata constituency chairman Trevor Ngandu has charged that President Edgar Lungu has embraced everyone in the party regardless of where they come from. Mr. Ngandu has cited many party and government positions that have been given to many people from various regional groupings. He says all well-meaning Zambians should join the Patriotic Front as a party of choice under the visionary leader, President Edgar Lungu. Mr. Ngandu was speaking in Kawata constituency during the launch of Utunenso Nalungu, an initiative which will act as a mobilization support group to existing structures. The mobilization group aims at targeting new voters by selling the party manifesto. Meanwhile, the provincial secretary, Kennedy Kamba, says the Patriotic Front is solid as evidenced from the many developmental projects that government has done.
The president of this Republic of Zambia has embraced every tribe, all the tribes in this country. He has not chosen. We are going to do mwezi maraita agasiga bwe. Marodi yota agasiga bwe. Abaye gachagwa lungu bapanga marodi kuzwaka fiwalia. We are going to tempa, we are going to mazabuka. For sure, my fellow tribesmen, what do you want Edgar Chagwalungu to do? That you are going to see that he loves you. He loves every tribe.
As far as we are concerned as the party, that issue of third term, it was resolved by the courts of law. That is order under the bridge. Everyone knows that the president's first term was less than 1 year, 6 months. So as far as we are concerned, that was not counted as a term. So to say, we strongly challenge the UPND and those civil organizations which are advocating for the candidature or for the election of the Hakainde Hichilema to tell the Zambian people what is it the PF has failed to do, which they are going to do for the Zambian people. As far as we are concerned, as the party, as the ruling party, the party in government, PF, we are happy with the performance of His Excellency Edgar Chagwalungu's administration. In terms of development, we have scored. Our Cristiano Ronaldo has scored beautiful goals.
The Bus and Taxi Owners Association of Zambia says the current fuel shortage in the country should not trigger an increase in the bus and taxi fares. Association spokesperson Amis Daudi has told Camnet TV in a telephone interview that any driver propagating to increase the fares is doing so illegally. Mr. Daudi says the increase in the bus and taxi fares can only be done if there is an upward adjustment in the price of fuel as well as operational cost. He says the current fuel shortage is a temporary process that should not prompt any driver from increasing the fares. The spokesperson says adjustment can only be done after consultations with the Road Transport and Safety Agency, RTSA, the Commuter Rights Association and other stakeholders.
No, the prices, the fare, bus fares are fixed by operators. And the process of increasing fares is well known. Unless there is a substantial increase in the cost of operations, that's when operators would apply to government to adjust the fares. The cost of operations is determined by the cost of fuel at the pump. So the pump price, locally here hasn't changed. So we cannot talk about adjusting fares when the price of fuel locally has not changed. The shortage of fuel doesn't affect the cost of operations. It will affect our operations in the sense that the vehicles will have no fuel for a day or whatever and you are unable to operate. But it does not increase the cost of operation. Those would be illegal operators, not the registered operators. Registered operators, operate according to the rules. And, we follow a certain process.
Meanwhile, some stakeholders have attributed Zambia's fuel crisis to poor governance. Livingstone has not been spared from the crisis, with 1 out of 8 fueling stations in the operations for now. One of the affected motorists, Rodney Sikumba, who is also a Livingstone Tourism Association chairman, is worried that the situation has forced people to disregard COVID-19 protocols as they are in close contact while fighting for fuel. Details on this. This is part of the long queues for the fuel crisis in Livingstone. The situation has been going on for some time now, negatively affecting parts of the tourist capital's economy, including tourism activities. The stranded motorists in Livingstone have said the fuel crisis, which has gripped on the country, is as a result of the poor administration by the Patriotic Front government. They say the situation, which has come at a time when Zambia's economy is already ailing, calls for quick intervention to save the little resources remaining from the high cost of living, compounded by the coronavirus.
Please, we appeal to the government. If they have failed, they don't refuse someone to resign. They can say we have failed and we are resigning. Because all we want is better Zambia. Exactly. All along, we have been living a very, very nice life. But from the time this PF government has taken over, everything is more or less like dictating in the way they want. Of which, as youths now, we are being tortured. We can look even the way we are standing here. 3/4 of us, we are just youths here, who are trying to scratch and do to earn our means. But when there is no fuel for us to do our businesses, then what kind of country are we? No, we say no to this, and we say shame to this government.
One of the motorists queuing up for petrol, which is only available at one of the 8 filling stations, is Livingstone Tourism Association chairman Rodney Sikumba, who says such queues are a breeding site for the COVID-19.
When are we going to make money? When are we going to feed our families? When are we going to social distance? Because of the queuing up, now we're even putting our people's lives at risk. We already know that COVID is high, but now because of the queuing up, we can't even social distance. When you physically distance, you find that you lose your slot on the queue. So people are bumper to bumper, which is not good. And I'm hoping that this situation is contained in the shortest possible time.
On the other hand, former Livingstone District Commissioner Paul Sensele is calling on President Edgar Lungu to save his face and that of his government by firing Energy Minister Matthew Nkuwa.
Have you seen the minister, himself, the minister, trying to address this? I don't know whether he's still on holiday, Christmas holiday or New Year holiday. The situation is becoming more worse and worse. What can we do? When we talk, they will just send guarders and beat you. What kind of a country is this? It's unfortunate we are in this situation. But it's only 6 months from now. You Zambian can make a decision and declare this. If the minister cannot talk, you will speak through the ballot paper.
Some of the drivers joined these queues as early as 5 in the morning, and the thought that they would drive away with the fuel after hours of waiting is not guaranteed. The government has, however, remained confident that the situation will soon be contained, but time is not on their side as motorists are running out of patience. Sharon Kalimbola, Camnet News. Now, messages of condolences have continued pouring in for the late Father Charles Chilinda of St. Ignatius Parish in Lusaka. Father Chilinda, who succumbed to the COVID-19 last Thursday, is fondly remembered to be a bold priest who tried to reconcile President Edgar Lungu and the opposition National Democratic Congress Party leader Shishimba Kamwili in church during a memorial service of the late President Michael Chilufya Sata. In observance of the COVID-19 measures, parishioners and other members of the public have been asked to lay wreaths at St. Ignatius Parish, where his picture has been placed. St. Ignatius Parish priest, acting parish priest, Father Kelly Michelo, has described Father Chilinda as a brother full of kindness. Let's take a look. This is St. Ignatius Parish, a place Father Charles Chilinda called home for more than 10 years. Father Chilinda was a Jesuit priest, well known for reconciling people, regardless of their status, creating a better platform for media productions, and subsequent creation of a TV station succumbed to the COVID-19 last Thursday. A priest fondly remembered as a man who coined the quote, The only measure of love is to love without measure. Due to the COVID-19 health guidelines, a funeral gathering is not allowed, but the other mourners and all those wishing to pay their last respect to Father Chilinda should visit St. Ignatius Parish and lay their wreaths where the picture has been placed. And true to that, parishioners were seen laying wreaths in memory of a man that brought many to God.
All we can do now is celebrate your life. Last time I saw you was on Tuesday. Little did I know that was actually goodbye. You sorted meeting at all. And you're looking so okay, but today you're no more.
Father Chilinda was a very good social friend of mine. Sometimes we pray together. I'm from next door, Trinity Church. So I'd like to pray for his departed body and pray for his family and all friends. And I'd like that those who go after he has continue to live his legacy.
And acting superior at St. Ignatius Parish, priest Father Kelly Michelo has described Father Chilinda as a person who touched many lives because of his love and kindness.
Chilinda was a companion, a brother to me. I've lived in the same house at St. Ignatius with him, and I was responsible to take him to the hospital when he was unwell. He's a magnanimous person, and he'll be greatly missed. He touched many people, basically because of his love and generosity. He reached out to many people. For he didn't mind whether you're on the top or below, whether you are not well, people who came to beg, he will still have a time to be able to listen to them. So as we know, we live in very difficult times, the COVID times. We can't gather and mourn him probably the best way we would do, but we have to be able to do it with given our circumstances. What is happening now is that, from today and tomorrow, if you feel like you want to be able to bring a wreath and say a prayer at the grotto at St. Ignatius, you're welcome to come and do that, and spend 5 minutes and say a prayer, and then you can be able to go back this time to your home.
Father Michelo has also revealed that burial for Father Chilinda will take place at Kasisi on Monday, insisting that no parishioner will be allowed to attend the funeral physically due to the observance of the COVID-19 measures.
But we'll have a burial that will take place at Kasisi. It's a very restricted number of people, which is understandable because of our times. Please, no parishioners are invited, no friends are invited. It's just a Jesuit and a family that will be able to take part in that. And we want to be able to observe all those guidelines so that we actually, be able to adhere to that. But be rest assured that, you will watch it on, on some TV stations that will be selected to be able to cover it. And they'll be there online on Facebook using Loyola. You'll be able to watch it and the other media houses.
Indeed, the country has lost a man who reconciled many to God. Sharon Kalimbula, Camnet News. In other news, a couple of Lusaka's Kawango West area, whose 1 year, 5 months old child is suffering from a condition called hydrocephalus, is seeking financial assistance to help them buy a tube costing 2,000 kwacha that will help remove the fluid from their daughter's head. The couple that was advised by doctors at the University Teaching Hospital, UTH, to buy a tube because the hospital did not have any, disclosed to Camnet TV in an interview that raising the same 2,000 in order to get their daughter treatment has been a challenge. They narrate that their daughter's head grows bigger each day, and they are afraid if treatment is delayed, the situation may get worse. Miriam has the details in this.
Was born with a condition called hydrocephalus. Now, at just 1 year and 5 months old, her head seems to be growing bigger and bigger each day. Her parents, who are told at the hospital to buy a tube costing 2,000 kwacha that will help remove the fluid from her head, say they do not have the financial capacity.
But mugule pipe kaja ka tube kumungenesa pamene hapa kuti mungati msazinkala manzi olabwera manzi yapita mukapaipi muja angena mtupi.
Treasure's condition is surprisingly common. It affects over 500,000 children worldwide. Commonly known as water on the brain, hydrocephalus can be caused by infection, genetic abnormal, or from a head injury.
Tukapaja 4 months inakwana mutu wa mbokuna. So paja tunaenda kupa clinic pashifonku. Batiweza kutoa mwana mpeleke pa BBQ. Anatupasa na chipele. Pa BBQ paja tunapeza kuna doctors wanashita transfer bali kuno TH. So ndi parotenze tunaboya tapempako transport kuva kuchechi. Kuja tunafika atiweza kutoa umwana mapaipi tilibe yakuti tumung'ambe manza zigwera matupi. So wanamchosa chabe tumachite tuma injections pa mutu apa 36 stage. After that wanatiweza kuti mukapeza ndalama mukabwera.
The brain produces a water in liquid called cerebrospinal fluid that acts as a protective cushion, lubricating the skull. The fluid normally lives in the head and drains into the spine, but water on the brain in babies occurs because too much cerebrospinal fluid has been produced. The body has a problem absorbing the fluid, or there's a blockage causing the fluid to build up.
Chapamoto chenzo vimba maningi pamwamba chabeso ndipe wana mpompolo. So hapa stichita kuti chingabwerere kuti chichepeko mchikuru chili mbali cheso. Kwa hapa chikabwera muenda mukati mungaoni mwambie na chifundo ndiye chamene chabe chapintira mukati futi chakula so chabe chalingana so problem nya pamene pamuntu.
The goal of treating water on the brain in babies is reducing the pressure caused by the cerebrospinal fluid buildup, and these may involve surgery and additional medications, which our parents have no financial capacity of raising the 2,000 kwacha.
Tetilimbe kwenda kuchechi. Na wewe wazambotandiza kuyangana hapo mwana bamuziba mwalivi. Saenda saya mfula. Batandizo mbauza mulungu. Vonse azankarabu.
Miriam Kemba reporting for Camnet TV News.
Still to come in the news, IMF JOTS Zambia. We take a break. Stay with us.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
The Cowbell Choco formula has been stolen. Get it back at all costs. Tasting Cowbell Choco gives you the get up and go to be at the top of your game. Now with Vitality Plus Iron. Great tasting Cowbell Choco, a creamy chocolatey drink that helps give energy to get up and go.
We all miss the days we would play outside, go to school, and visit fun places. But now, we all have to take care to prevent the coronavirus. Viruses are really tiny particles that we can't see with just our eyes, so we need to keep ourselves safe by practicing good hygiene, such as washing our hands with soap and clean water regularly. We can also use hand sanitizer to keep our hands clean. It's also important for us to keep our bodies and surroundings clean. We must also avoid handshakes, hugs, and standing close to other people in public places. This is called social distancing. The coronavirus has affected millions of people around the world, so we need to stay safe. In the meantime, we can keep ourselves busy by reading a book, watching TV, and doing some schoolwork. There's so much we can do indoors. Stay safe, stay home, and prevent COVID-19. We're all in this together.
This advert is sponsored by the Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA. My tax, your tax, our destiny.
2021 is finally here. Zambia is at the crossroads heading towards general elections this August. In the world where fake news, biased reporting on national issues has become the order of the day, in a world where social media in most cases spills lies and exaggerated information, insightful coverage, Zambia needs one media. Living in a country where people are slowly promoting tribalism, hatred, bitterness and revenge, political temperature is heating up and people's hearts are perplexed. Zambia needs one media. Zambia being a Christian nation living under the lordship of Jesus Christ, the nation cannot afford a compromised gospel. Zambia needs a prophetic media house. For hope, peace and unity, Zambia needs Camnet television for non-biased, factual reporting, balanced opinion, accurate news coverage. Zambia needs Camnet television for national projects and development of our beloved country Zambia. Watch Camnet TV on channel 274 DSTV, channel 98 on Go TV, and channel 106 on Topstar. Remember, Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Welcome back. You're watching Camnet News. We continue with the stories. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, says it will hold a virtual meeting with Zambian government from the 11th of February to the 3rd of March 2021. The meeting is aimed at negotiating an extended credit facility, ECF. The engagement with the IMF under the ECF window provides financial assistance to countries with the protracted balance payment challenges, the situation the country is currently facing. The Ministry of Finance Secretary to the Treasury, Fred Sonyamba, in a media statement says the program discussion will center on the government's objective to attain fiscal and debt sustainability. He says the program will also center on key pillars on the ERP, scaling up social protection programs and undertaking the much-needed reforms in the agriculture and energy sectors. Ms. Sonyamba further says, in line with the need to stabilize the economy and gain traction on its reform agenda, the government, as espoused in the Economic Recovery Program 2020-2023 and prior to cabinet approvals, has prioritized having a formal program with the IMF. In other news, Health Minister Jonas Chanda says government is concerned with the increasing reports of shortage of essential drugs in some health facilities in the country. And Dr. Chanda is disappointed that life-saving equipment in major health facilities remain non-functional. He disclosed this during his tour at Ndola Teaching Hospital, where he wondered why critical equipment such as CT scans, among others, have remained in a broken state for many years without seeking solutions. Meanwhile, Zambia has in the last 24 hours recorded 1,259 new COVID-19 cases out of 12,601 tests conducted and 1,626 recoveries on a positive note. And on a sad note, the country has recorded 17 deaths.
Zambia in the last 24 hours recorded 1,259 new cases. Let me repeat, Zambia in the last 24 hours recorded 1,259 new cases out of a total of 12,601 tests. So we did 12,601 tests and 1,259 tested positive. That is a positivity rate of 10 to 12%. That has been the case. The cumulative number of COVID-19 cases now stands at 44,592. Today we have discharged 1,626 individuals, bringing the cumulative number of recoveries to 34,293. In the last 24 hours, sadly, we have recorded 17 new deaths countrywide. 17 of our people have died overnight in the last 24 hours. The cumulative number of deaths recorded now stands at 627, classified as follows: 253 COVID deaths, 351 COVID-19 associated deaths, and 23 deaths pending classification. We currently have a total of 9,672 active COVID-19 cases. Of these, 9,226 are under community management, while 446 are admitted to various health facilities around the country.
The Commuters' Rights Association of Zambia President Aaron Kamuti has called on local engineers to take interest in monitoring projects that foreign contractors are working on in the country. In an interview with Camnet TV, Mr. Kamuti says the construction of roundabouts in the country, especially in Lusaka, leave much to be desired. He adds that the workmanship on such infrastructure has contributed to the increased number of road traffic accidents. He says this could be as a result of leaving the work to foreign entities without fully knowing what is obtaining on the ground. He has since called on line ministries to ensure that Zambian engineers are attached to these projects for easy monitoring and in order to have facilities that will stand the test of time.
But the roundabout which has been constructed, and every day the accidents happening because there's no signage, and the state of work which is there is not comparable to what we see in other African countries or in Zambia in particular. Our usual roundabouts, to comparing to what we have now, there's a total difference. So what we want to see is our engineers to up their game and make sure that they monitor and advising when these roads are being constructed.
Police in Kalumbila district have arrested a 26-year-old woman identified as Juliet Mosongo for allegedly stealing a month-old baby. Northwestern Province Commissioner of Police Joel Njasa has confirmed this development to Zanis in the district. Mr. Njasa says the incident happened at Manyama Market Friday afternoon when the 28-year-old mother Lines Motengo left her child in the custody of a named stranger as she went to source for a face mask in the market. However, the mother later realized that the woman she had entrusted with her child was nowhere to be seen and the baby was also missing. The commissioner, however, says the woman was 3 hours later found in Kamananga area, few kilometers from Manyama Market, where the child was stolen from. The victim has since been arrested and remains in police custody. You're watching Camnet News. Thank you so much for staying on this far. We take another break. Join me shortly for international and sports news.
And why do you look so pale and busy scratching yourself?
Well, Amwandi, you know my skin is very sensitive. I've tried all the skin products and nothing seems to work.
Have you tried Oracle Pure Glycerin?
Oracle Pure Glycerin? What's that?
Just give me a minute.
Oracle Pure Glycerin gives your skin a youthful and healthy glow.
Ish, you're glowing. Don't tell me.
Yes!
I already know the secrets.
Oracle Pure Glycerin!
Try Oracle Pure Glycerin for that perfect skin.
Dr. Bigron, musayibala komutienda okuni gift na land. Uchitenkubeti uibise mojo basayone. Oh! Mwina moshi, nakuletera njinga. Latest ina luvesi gear na mawaipa.
Zip code chidi ashiria njinga. Liamu 19 pendef kondo. Transport, we got it.
Nanga phone for communication. Ipuzi sana chizungu. Yeah, you see what I mean?
It's a camera difficult.
It's communication. We got it. Inemomi! Powerful system ndimba X-Buzz.
Mufumile kukalale. Na mnaimo muli bakumushi. We got it. Yo Bikron, utola inoleta nchemfule mungani. ngechiwachira pose nechichinshi 1 2 3 both of you kabala ngempanga. Don't be stupid. We got it.
Can I have that meal over there? And I really want that crisp, fresh apple taste in the garden. Can I have the apple?
I think I'll have my big bite 2 meal with happy waziwaka. Give us your
Enjoy an appetizing big bite meal with an Appy drink of your choice. A meal is not a meal without an Appy drink. And now introducing Appy in a can.
Hello, have you heard about Musika? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, Musika is here. Advertise on Musika between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact
+260 953 995099 +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467.
Musika, allowing your business to grow.
Welcome back. In international news, in the last 24 hours reporting cycle, 11,761 positive coronavirus cases have been registered in South Africa. SABC reports that this brings the cumulative number of cases since the pandemic began to 1,392,592. The number of fatalities has risen by 575, bringing the overall number of deaths to 40,076. According to the Department of Health, there's been a decline in the number of overall transmissions. The positivity rate has decreased from 36% during the wave to 19%. In other news, still on the global front, Libya's internationally recognized government has opened an exhibit to help people identify personal belongings and the remains of loved ones in the hope they are recognized and laid to rest. We monitored Al Jazeera for more on these stories.
Clothes and personal belongings from the remains of people found in mass graves. This site has been opened in Tripoli to help people identify bodies and possessions belonging to their relatives and loved ones. At least 338 people have been reported missing in the town of Surhuna, allegedly killed by the El Camnet militia loyal to warlord Khalifa Haftar during his failed military campaign on Libya's capital. Other mass graves are being uncovered. Izhar Milad identified the body of one of her 3 sisters last week. Today, she's recognized 2 more of her sisters.
I came to identify my sisters who were kidnapped by the Al Camnet militia. My message to those who killed my sisters: they are women. Why did you kill them? The youngest had 4 children and she was pregnant.
Now, these refrigerated containers are where the bodies of those found in the mass graves in Turhuna are kept. And once their bodies are identified, they're then transferred to their loved ones so they may be buried. So far, approximately 125 bodies have been found. They are brought here for autopsies. And their personal belongings are documented and put on display. Malik is a nurse and has 2 brothers missing. He thinks he recognizes one of them by his clothing and a ring he bought.
How I feel is it's difficult to explain, you know. It's having this body should be my brother or not, we cannot confirm until now, you know. And at least we have percentage. At least we have like 80% that's him. And there is the others that didn't found their sons and their brothers, their sisters. They don't deserve this. They don't deserve to end this way.
There are 31 bodies here for family members to attempt to identify, including those of 4 women and 2 children.
Once we believe a family has identified a person's belongings, we make sure all the information matches: clothing, tattoos, dental records. Once confirmed, a request is made to release the body to the family.
For Izhar, although there is pain after identifying her sisters, there is also some long-needed closure. But it will likely take more time for her to know the fate of her two brothers.
Lloyd Austin arrived at the Pentagon shortly after his Senate confirmation. His first day's schedule included a call with NATO's Secretary General and a briefing on the coronavirus pandemic.
Good to see you guys, and thanks for being here. Look forward to working with you.
Earlier, the retired Army general had shattered a racial barrier in the United States by becoming the first African-American Secretary of Defense. He was confirmed with overwhelming bipartisan support from Democrats and Republicans.
The yeas are 93, the nays are 2, and the nomination is confirmed.
Security analysts say his appointment symbolizes a turning point in the fight against systemic racism.
It's so significant because the many black thousands and thousands of black soldiers have served since the American Revolutionary War. And why did it take so long? Well, we know we have systemic barriers, institutional issues that prevent these type of things from happening. So this is so significant.
Austin says his main priorities are deterring any threat posed by China and rooting out domestic extremism. But some analysts say it's unlikely there'll be a huge shift in US defense policy with his appointment.
Basically, he reaffirmed the policy of strengthening American defenses, keeping the defense budget robust, building up U.S. nuclear forces while agreeing to negotiations with other countries and so on. So I didn't detect a major shift in U.S. defense policy from what we've seen since pretty much the last dozen years or so.
President Biden also wants Austin to restore stability at the Pentagon. During the Trump administration, there were 2 Senate-confirmed secretaries of defense and 4 who held the post on an interim basis.
We go straight into sports news. In sports news, the CHIPOLOPOLO boys this evening faced Guinea in a tough Group D African Nations tie at LUNGU'S Stadium in Cameroon, in which it has drawn a 1-0. Both teams convincingly won their opening matches, who were looking rather to cement their places in this group. In the game, Zambia welcomed skipper Adrian Chama, who missed the first match due to suspension, which will fortify the backline. Guinea was leading by a goal until Spencer Sautu scored for Zambia to equalize, making the scoreline 1-1 in the 87th minute. Well, that sporting item ends our news this evening. Let's just look at the headlines once again. Continued fuel shortage angers Livingstone residents. Lusaka Province Patriotic Front members confident of President Edgar Lungu's candidature. IMF JOTS Zambia next month. In international news, South Africa's COVID-19 related deaths surpass 40,000. And in sports news, CHIPOLOPOLO versus Guinea ends at 1-1 goal. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, and it's coming from Psalms 119 verse 92 to 93, and it reads, "If your instruction had not been my delight, I would have died in my affliction. I will never forget your precepts, for you have given me life through them." That's all we could accommodate for you on the news desk. Thank you so much for choosing us once again. My name is Sharon Kalimbula. Remember to ensure that you observe the COVID-19 guidelines to stop the spread of the virus. Good night.